8 years ago, I was working night shifts as a security guard. 15 bucks an hour broke, burnt out, no real plan. One night, I saw a YouTube video about eBay dropshipping. I was skeptical, but desperate enough to try. So I listed a snow globe I found on Amazon, marked it up, went to bed. And the next morning, I made a $12 profit. That sale hit harder than my entire shift. Fast forward, I've sold over 300,000 items on eBay, built multiple stores, and created a repeatable system that turns Amazon's inventory and eBay's traffic into profit, with no warehouse, no ads, and no upfront inventory. I documented the full system inside a book called The Invisible Store. What you're watching right now is the full book summary, broken down chapter by chapter so you can understand the entire model in less than an hour. This is the real roadmap. How to start with zero using sniping and bulk listing. How to automate with low-cost VAs. And how to scale to 1 to 3K a month per store or more. If you want the full book, you can download it below. But if you're ready to do it, not just read about it, we built the software, the training, and the community. It's all waiting for you at EcomSniper. Let's get into it. Before we dive in, let's just set some expectations. I know people doing this who make $100 a month, and I know people making over 200 grand. But if you're just getting started, a real achievable goal is to make $1,000 to $3,000 a month in profit from a single eBay store. Not 5 stores, not scaling to the moon, just one store, one stream of income that's actually working. And the reason we start there is simple, because you need to learn the business. How to get sales, how to talk to buyers, how to fix problems when they come up. If you try to scale too early, hire VAs, list thousands of items, skip all the hard parts, you're going to crash. I've seen it happen too many times. But once you've got that first store dialed in, that's when you scale. You hand off the grunt work to a $2 per hour VA, you open a second store, then a third. And now it's a business, not just something you're doing on the side. And yeah, the ceiling is high. Some of our users are pulling in 10, 15 grand a month from just one store. But most people grow faster by just duplicating what's already working, instead of trying to get fancy. So here's the mission. Start with one store, one clear target, 1 to 3K a month in clean profit. Once that's real, we grow from there. Let's get into it. Now that you know what to expect, let's break down exactly what this business is. eBay dropshipping is simple. You don't need inventory, a warehouse, or any upfront products. It's just copy and paste. Here's how it works. You find an item on Amazon, let's say a toothbrush that costs 10 bucks. You copy the title, the photos, the description, and you list it on eBay for 30. Someone finds your eBay listing, buys it, and you go back to Amazon, order the toothbrush, and ship it straight to the customer. That's it. You didn't touch the product, you didn't pay for it up front, you just connected the buyer with the item, and you keep the profit. I started this exact way. Living in Canada, I used eBay Canada and Amazon Canada. That was my first store. No overseas shipping, no delays. It felt local and smooth. Later on, I moved to eBay.com and started using Amazon.com to reach more buyers. And that's what I recommend. If you're in the UK, start with eBay UK and Amazon UK. If you're in Germany, same thing. Start local, keep it simple. Then, once the profits start rolling in and your process is dialed in, you can expand into international markets. The key is don't overthink it. You're not reinventing the wheel. You're just taking products people already want and putting them where they're already looking, okay? This guide is going to show you exactly how to do that without getting flagged, suspended, or wasting time on the wrong strategies. Let's keep going. At this point, you're probably wondering, wait, is this even allowed? Can you really dropship on eBay? It's a fair question, and I get it all the time. The short answer is yes, but you need to be smart about how you do it. Here's what eBay officially says. Dropshipping is allowed if you're using a wholesale supplier, but If you're listing an item on eBay and buying it from another retailer like Amazon or Walmart, that's technically against their policy. So why does this still work? Well, let me take you back to 2020, when COVID hit and people around the world lost their jobs. Dropshipping exploded. It was cheap to start and easy to learn. But with that came chaos. A wave of low-quality sellers flooded eBay. Late shipments, ignored messages, refunds, angry buyers. eBay took the hit, not the sellers. So they cracked down, and they started flagging accounts that were obviously dropshipping from retail stores. Not banning, just limiting visibility. But here's the twist. eBay still needs us. We fill gaps in the market. We list new, relevant products that help buyers complete purchases. So eBay plays it smart. They show reseller listings first, but if those don't convert, they show ours. And that's where we win. The key is staying under the radar. Don't use software that connects directly to eBay's API. That's a red flag. Instead, use browser-based tools like EcomSniper or just do it manually. Bottom line, yes, you can dropship on eBay. I've been doing it for 8 years. You just have to play the game right. Let's move on. So if this kind of dropshipping technically bends the rules, why does it still work? Why would someone buy from you on eBay when the exact same item is cheaper on Amazon? It took me years to understand this, but now it's crystal clear. The answer is convenience. Think about it like this. You're sitting at a baseball game, starving. A hot dog vendor walks by and offers you one for $10. You buy it, no hesitation. Could you get the same hot dog at Costco for $1? Sure, but that's 30 minutes away. You're here, you're hungry, and it solves the problem now. That's what buyers on eBay are doing. They're not hunting for the absolute lowest price. They're looking for the fastest, cleanest solution that fits their budget. When your listing shows up at the right time, with the right title, the right picture, and the right price, they just click Buy It Now. They're not checking Amazon. They're not cross-referencing UPCs. They're solving a problem, and your listing is the answer. So yes, even though your item is technically more expensive than Amazon, the buyer doesn't care because it showed up exactly when they needed it. And that's why this business works. You're not selling products. You're selling timing, trust, and convenience. Now let's take a look at how the buyer actually finds your listing in the first place. All right, let's talk about how your listings actually get seen on eBay. Every time you list an item, eBay gives it a temporary boost. For a short window, maybe a few hours, your listing appears near the top of search results. That's your shot. If someone buys it during that window, eBay sees it as a hot product. And what do? They keep it high in search. One sale buys you more visibility, another sale extends it even longer. That's the entire game. But if no one buys during that first window, your listing drops. Page 2, then page 10, and eventually it's buried. eBay's search engine, called Cassini, is built to find and reward items that convert. That's what keeps their buyers happy and their revenue flowing. So if your listing gets clicks but no purchases, Cassini sees that as a red flag. It quietly pushes your item down and you miss your chance. That's why the first few hours matter so much. You want that early sale. It's like proving to the algorithm that your product is worth showing. And that's why we bulk list. That's why we snipe. Because if we can get even one item to hit during that boost, it starts a chain reaction. eBay isn't looking to help you out. They're looking to make money. But if you play by their rules and give them a product that sells, they'll reward you with visibility. So now you understand the algorithm. Next, let's figure out what to do when your item doesn't sell. So you listed your item, but it didn't sell. What happened? First, don't panic. This is normal. Not every item will hit, but we need to understand why, because the algorithm already made a decision. Remember that short boost eBay gives every new listing? If no one buys during that window, the algorithm assumes your item isn't relevant. It drops in the rankings, and most people will never see it again. There are a few reasons this might happen. Maybe the buyers who saw your item weren't ready to buy. They were just browsing. Maybe your price was too high compared to a similar listing. Maybe your title didn't match what the buyer was actually looking for. Or maybe your images didn't build enough trust to get the click. The good news, you can reset that boost. Just end the listing and use the Sell Similar option to relist it. This gives the item a fresh chance in search results as if it's brand new. Sometimes that's all it takes. Timing is everything. The first time you listed it, the right buyer might not have been online. The second time, it could be a perfect match. You can also adjust your title, price, or images before relisting, but honestly, I don't overthink it. I let volume do the work. List, test, relist, repeat. If an item doesn't sell after 90 days in multiple relists, delete it. Move on. You're not trying to make every item work, you're just trying to find the ones that do. Next, I'll show you how to stack the odds in your favor, using bulk theory. Now that you've seen how unpredictable sales can be, let me introduce you to the most powerful strategy in this entire system. It's called bulk theory, and it's how we take the guesswork out of dropshipping. Here's the idea. Instead of spending hours trying to pick the perfect product, you list everything. 10,000 items, no deep research, no overthinking, just volume. Why? Because every listing is a test. You're letting the market tell you what works. Some listings will have a great title, but a bad price. Others will have the right price, but the wrong keywords. But out of 10,000 items, a few hundred will hit the sweet spot. And those are the listings that start making sales every single day. It's the law of large numbers. The more listings you have, the more consistent your results become. You're not looking for one product to change your life. You're building a catalog, a machine. And with every listing, you give yourself another shot at a sale. And the best part? You don't need to be perfect. If a product doesn't sell, you just end it and replace it. That's how you win. Not by being smarter, but by being more consistent. List in bulk. Let the data guide you. Delete what doesn't work. Scale what does. And once you're earning $1K to $3K a month on one account, you can repeat the process across multiple stores and multiply your income. Next, I'll show you what separates slow stores from fast ones. Momentum. So why do some eBay stores explode while others just crawl along? It all comes down to momentum. I've seen stores with the same number of listings, even the same types of products, but one makes $4K a month, and the other struggles to hit $500. What's the difference? The stores that grow fast get early sales. When you get a sale within your first 100 listings, it sends a signal to eBay. This seller converts, and eBay starts trusting you. That trust shows up as higher visibility. Your future listings get better placement. Your store gets more traffic, sales lead to more sales, and the cycle builds. But if your first batch of listings flops, eBay gets cautious. It lowers the visibility of your next items, making it harder to get traction. That's why we want early wins to build that snowball effect. There are two ways to spark momentum. First, sniping. You find proven items that are already selling on eBay, then list them at a slightly better price. We'll break this down in the next chapter. Second, bulk listing with a smart markup. I recommend starting around 40 to 50%. For example, if an item costs $10 on Amazon, list it for $14.99. That range consistently triggers early sales, even with your first 1,000 items. Get that first sale. Build trust with eBay. Let the algorithm start working in your favor. Because once you've got momentum, everything gets easier. Up next, I'll show you exactly how to snipe those proven items step by step. Let me tell you how I stopped guessing and started getting sales consistently. It's called sniping. Sniping is simple. You find items on eBay that are already selling, usually from other dropshippers, and you list the exact same item, just slightly cheaper. That's it. No guesswork. No wondering if it'll sell. You're using their success as proof, then undercutting them by a few cents to win the sale. Here's how it works. First, find a dropshipper. Go on Amazon, grab a popular product title, paste it into eBay, and look for a seller charging more than Amazon's price. Found one? Good, that's likely a drop shipper. Now go to their profile and filter by sold listings. Look for items that have sold multiple times. That tells you it's hot. Take that product, click Sell Now on their listing, and eBay will copy over their title, photos, and item details. You just change the price, list it a little lower, and publish. You now have a live, proven item that's more attractive than your competitors, and you didn't have to guess a single thing. Repeat that process over and over, and your store will start building momentum fast. This is the fastest way to make your first sale. And when you do it consistently, you start filling your store with winning products, not random shots in the dark. In the next chapter, I'll show you what to do when the product your competitor used is out of stock and how to still make money by substituting it smartly. All right, so you found a hot-selling item. You sniped it. You're ready to list. But then you check Amazon, and it's either out of stock or way too expensive to make a profit. Now what? Most people stop right there. But this is where product substitution comes in. And it's honestly one of the most powerful moves in the entire system. Instead of giving up, you look for a similar item. Same type, same features, just a different brand, or maybe a slightly different variation. Like, if your competitor is selling a 200-pack of paper cups and Amazon's only got the 100-pack, that's fine. You just change your title to say 100-pack, adjust the price, match the photos, and list it. You're still riding the demand of that original listing. You're just fulfilling it differently. Now here's the key. The more elements you keep the same, the title, the price, the features, the images, the higher your odds of getting a sale. If you change too much, your chances drop. But if your price is better or your images are actually cleaner, you might outperform the original listing completely. And that's the magic of substitution. It means you're never stuck. You never waste your research. You can take one proven listing and spin it into 10 variations, each with their own chance to sell. And because you're not competing head-to-head anymore, the profit margins are often better too. This is how you play smart and scale smarter. Next, I'll show you how to protect all this work and keep your account safe for the long haul. Let's talk about something that can kill your store overnight: getting suspended on eBay. I've seen it happen to sellers who were doing everything right, except the stuff that actually matters to eBay. The truth is, suspensions usually come from two things: bad buyer experience and fraud risk. Let's start with the buyer side. If your customers are unhappy, if they leave bad feedback, open item not received cases, or you cancel orders too often, eBay sees you as a risk. And when they lose trust, they act fast. So rule number 1, keep buyers happy. Reply fast, ship fast, never cancel unless the buyer asks. If something's out of stock, message them early and offer an alternative. I use ChatGPT to help me write those messages. It saves time and actually boosts conversions. Now, fraud risk. If you open a brand new account and list high-risk stuff like phones or consoles, eBay assumes you're a scammer. Simple as that. So you need to warm up your account. Start by listing safe, boring items: mugs, books, stuff that looks personal. After a week or so, you can start scaling into real products. And don't grow too fast. If you go from 0 to 100K in sales in 30 days, eBay's going to flag you. Let the growth look natural. Build trust slowly. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be smart. And if you play it right, you can build a business that lasts, even while bending the rules a bit. Next, I'll show you how to turn out-of-stock headaches into extra profit using a customer service strategy most sellers completely ignore. Here's one of the biggest mistakes I see new dropshippers make. They cancel orders when something goes wrong. Item out of stock, cancel. Price jumped, cancel. But every time you cancel, you hurt your eBay account. You lose trust, risk a defect, and make eBay question if you're reliable. So here's the play. Never cancel unless the buyer asks you to. Instead, turn the problem into a profit opportunity. Let me walk you through what I do. First, I try to find the exact same item from another supplier. If it's available, even at a slightly higher price, I just ship it. Done. If I can't find it, I look for a look-alike product, something with the same type and features. Often, private label brands sell the exact same product under different names. Then I message the buyer, fast. I act like a human, not a business. I offer them an upgraded item or a similar alternative. I even throw in a small discount code like "Thank You 10" to make it feel special. Most buyers are happy. They just want their problem solved. And if they're not, that's fine. I give them the option to cancel, but only after I've offered solutions. That way, if they choose to cancel, it's their decision, not mine. This framework has saved my store dozens of times and made me more profit than I expected. Customer service isn't just about solving problems. It's about keeping sales and protecting your account. In the next chapter, I'll show you why great service isn't just the right thing to do, it's actually one of the best ways to drive more sales. Most people think customer service is just about solving problems. But here's the truth. Customer service drives sales. It's one of the easiest, most overlooked ways to grow your eBay business, and it takes almost no effort. Here's how it works. Anytime a buyer sends a message, even just asking a basic question, they're interested. That's a hot lead. If you answer fast and give them a clear, friendly response, they're way more likely to buy. Even if the answer was already in your listing, they just want reassurance, a human touch. And that human touch builds trust. Now here's the bonus. eBay is watching how you respond. If you reply quickly and consistently, the algorithm sees you as a high-quality seller, and that means better search placement, more visibility, more traffic, more sales. It's simple. Someone asks, "Is this dishwasher safe?" You check Amazon or use ChatGPT to help you respond clearly. Done. That small moment? It's a conversion opportunity. So respond to everyone. Be fast, be helpful, and always sound like a real person, not a robot. I've had hundreds of sales come directly from good customer service. And on top of that, eBay rewards me for it. This is how you turn casual browsers into buyers, not with tricks or fancy tactics, but by just showing up and being helpful. In the next chapter, we'll go over eBay's built-in tools, promotions, coupons, and offers, and how they can 2x or even 3x your sales with almost no extra work. If you want to double your sales without listing a single new item, you need to use eBay's built-in promotions. Most sellers ignore these tools, and they're leaving money on the table. Let's start with promoted listings. This is eBay's ad system. You pick a percentage, say 4%, and eBay shows your item higher in search. But here's the best part. With standard campaigns, you only pay if the item actually sells. So it's risk-free. I run promoted listings on all my items. Even a small ad rate gives you way more exposure, and in return, more consistent sales. Now let's talk about PPC or pay-per-click. This one's more advanced. You only get charged when someone clicks, not when you get a sale. I set super low bids, like 10 or 20 cents, and let eBay decide which listings have the best shot. It's hands-off and surprisingly effective. Next up, off-site ads. These bring in buyers from Google or other platforms. I treat them the same as PPC. Low bids, let it run in the background. Now for the hidden gem, markdown sales. You set a 24-hour sale on your items, and eBay shows a red countdown timer next to them. That urgency? It works. People buy faster when there's a deadline. And don't forget coupons. I always run a 5% coupon site-wide. Buyers feel like they're getting a deal even if the price is the same. When you stack these tools together, promoted listings, sales, coupons, offers, it creates momentum. Your listings perform better, your store gets more traffic, and you make more money. In the next chapter, I'll show you how to optimize all of this even further, with small daily actions that can 3x your results. Once your listings are live and promotions are running, you might think the heavy lifting is done. But there's one more level, and it's where the real scaling happens. Daily optimizations. These are small actions that take just a few minutes, but they compound fast, and they can triple your sales. Let's start with markdown sales. I run a 24-hour sale every single day. When it ends, I start a new one. Why? Because that red countdown timer creates urgency. Most buyers take action when they feel like they're about to miss a deal. Coupons. I set a 5% coupon across my whole store. It stacks on top of the markdown sale, and it makes people feel like they're getting extra value, even if I just raise the price by 5% before offering it. Then there's sending offers to watchers. These are people who already showed interest in your item. You can send them a private discount. I usually do 5%. That one little nudge turns curiosity into a sale. And don't forget to accept offers when they come in. If the buyer's offer is close to break even or profitable, take it. The sale boosts your algorithm ranking, which brings more traffic and future sales. Lastly, refresh your stale listings. If something hasn't sold in 30 days, end it and relist it using Sell Similar. That resets the algorithm boost and gives your item a second chance. Do these things daily and you'll start to see a snowball effect. More visibility, more conversions, more momentum. Up next, let's talk about tracking numbers and why I don't upload them at all. And still sold over 300,000 items. Here's a question I get all the time. What tracking number should I upload to eBay? My answer? I don't upload tracking at all. And I've still sold over 300,000 items. Here's why. I use Amazon as my supplier. When they ship an item, the tracking number starts with TBA, and eBay doesn't recognize that. Worse, it can reveal the item came from an Amazon warehouse, which raises flags. So instead of risking that, I just skip tracking completely. Now you might be thinking, doesn't eBay require it? Technically, yes. If you want to become a top-rated seller, you need to upload valid tracking on time for 98% of your orders. But honestly, I'm okay without that badge. Missing it hasn't hurt my sales. And what about buyers? Don't they ask for tracking? Sometimes, but I get ahead of it. Right after I place the order, I send them a quick message. Hey, your item's scheduled to arrive tomorrow or the day after. Let me know if you have any questions. That one message does the job tracking is supposed to do. It gives them confidence. Now, if you really want to upload tracking, there are tools that can convert Amazon's TBA numbers into accepted formats. But personally, I skip it. And guess what? eBay understands. Tons of sellers ship low-cost items without tracking, especially in categories like stamps, books, or collectibles. So as long as your customer service is solid and the buyer gets their item, you're fine. In the next chapter, I'll show you how to unlock higher listing limits so you can scale faster without getting stuck. eBay limits how many items you can list, and if you don't handle this right, it can completely stall your growth. Let me explain how to break through those limits. Every account starts with a cap. It might be 10 items, maybe 100. And even if you're ready to bulk list, you can't move forward until those limits go up. So what's the solution? Convert your account to a business account. If you have an LLC, great, use it. If not, register as a sole proprietorship. eBay takes business accounts more seriously and usually gives you higher limits. But here's the catch. Even with a business account, you might still get stuck with low limits. That happens if your account was created using a flagged IP, device, or browser cookies. So if your limits are unusually low, here are your two options. Option 1. Start fresh. Create a clean account on a fresh browser, clean IP, and new device. It's the fastest way to avoid invisible restrictions. Option 2. Build trust gradually. List low-risk items. Fulfill orders on time. Give great service. Once you sell about 40% of your active listings, eBay will usually raise your limits automatically. It's called your sell-through rate. You can also trick the system by listing and selling cheap items, even at break-even, just to show eBay you're active and reliable. I've used this to grow an account from 10 items to 50,000 in less than a month. Bottom line, don't let limits stop you. There's always a way forward. In the next chapter, I'll walk you through setting up your eBay account the right way from the start. so you can avoid limits and red flags altogether. If you're just starting out, how you set up your eBay account matters more than you think. The goal is to avoid getting flagged, limited, or suspended before you even begin. If you have access to an old eBay account, maybe one you made years ago, start there. Older accounts carry trust. Just convert it into a business account, and you can usually skip the warm-up phase entirely. But if you're starting fresh, no worries. Here's how to do it right. First, choose Business Account when signing up. This gives you better scaling options later. Then comes the warm-up phase. For the first 3 to 7 days, don't list high-risk items like electronics or expensive gadgets. Those scream dropshipper and get flagged fast. Instead, list low-risk household stuff, books, mugs, office supplies. And don't use Amazon stock photos. Either take your own or use images from the web, snipped and re-uploaded to strip metadata. Make your store look like a regular person selling stuff from home. After a few days of safe listings and no issues, you're clear to start dropshipping. The warm-up is short but critical. Skip it and you risk getting limited before you even start. And if you already have an account you've used before, great. Just convert it to a business profile and you can dive right in. The goal here is simple. Set up the foundation properly so the rest of your store grows without friction. In the next chapter, we'll talk about what to do when you're doing everything right, but still not getting sales. So, you've listed a few hundred items, maybe even a couple thousand. You've followed the setup, you've used the right tools, but the sales still aren't coming in. What gives? Let me clear this up right now. You're not flagged. You're not shadow banned. You're just not done yet. The truth is, until you hit around 10,000 active listings, you're still in the setup phase. The results at this stage are random. Some good days, some dry ones. That's normal. Why 10,000? Because every listing is a lottery ticket. One product might sell 5 times, another might never sell at all. But when you have thousands of listings, the math starts to work in your favor. After helping over 200 stores, I've seen the pattern. Under 10K listings, sales are inconsistent. Over 10K, daily sales start to stabilize. It's not magic, it's volume. This is why I tell all new sellers, your only job right now is to list 100 items a day. Don't tweak, don't panic, don't overanalyze. Just keep listing until you hit that 10K mark. Sales are a side effect of scale. If you're not getting results yet, it doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It means you're not finished building the machine. Keep going. You're on the right path. In the next chapter, I'll show you how to scale past one store and multiply your profits with a system that works across multiple accounts. Once your first store is making $1K to $3 a month, it's time to scale. Now, you could try pushing that one store to 10K, but it comes with a lot of extra work. More customer service, more maintenance, more risk. That's why I prefer a different route, scaling sideways. Instead of trying to squeeze more out of one store, I just build another. Same system, same playbook. Repeat and multiply. This is where the agency model comes in. You find someone in a strong eBay country like the US, UK, Canada, Germany, or Australia, and ask if they want to make passive income. They create the eBay account under their name. You run it, you do the listings, fulfillment, and support. Then you split the profit 50-50. It's simple, clean, and effective. You don't need their passwords. Just use remote access tools like AnyDesk or TeamViewer and manage it from your side. I started by running stores for family and friends. Today I manage accounts for full-time clients. And here's the bonus. Running multiple accounts protects your income. If one store gets flagged or slowed down, you've got others running strong. That kind of diversification gives you real stability. But don't rush it. Master one store first, learn the edge cases, build confidence, then scale up. This model lets you go from 3K month to 30K month without burning out. And now in the final chapter, I'll give you the exact daily routine my team and I follow to keep everything running, scaling, and profitable every single day. By now, you've got the full system. You know what to list. You know how to scale. You know how to avoid the traps most people fall into. But let me tell you something most people miss. Knowing isn't what makes this work. Doing is. This business doesn't reward the smartest person in the room. It rewards the one who shows up every single day and runs the play. When I started, I thought I needed to be perfect. I wasted so much time overthinking titles, prices, strategy. But the truth is, the stores that win, they build momentum. And momentum is built from rhythm. So, here's what my routine looks like and what yours should too. First thing in the morning, I check for orders and get them out. Fast fulfillment helps your ranking and makes buyers trust you. Then I answer messages. Every buyer question is a chance to close a sale. After that, I deal with returns and feedback. I don't let anything sit. You solve it now, or it becomes a bigger problem later. Then I list. If I'm under 10,000 listings, I'm in bulk mode, 100 items a day. If I'm past 10K, I start pruning. Remove dead weight, replace with fresh products. And finally, I check my promos. Coupons, markdowns, offers, all running in the background. That's the routine, that's the rhythm. Do it daily and the system compounds. Sales stabilize, then scale kicks in. This is where the real work begins. Now let me show you how to actually put it into motion with the tools, the training, and the team to back you up. Everything you just watched? That was a summary of Invisible Store, the full dropshipping playbook I use to scale multiple eBay stores from zero to thousands a month in profit. But let me be clear, this video was the overview. The book goes way deeper. It covers the nuance, the edge cases, the invisible stuff that separates winners from people who spin their wheels. If you want the full book, download it below. Just drop your email. You'll get the PDF instantly. No spam, no nonsense. Now, once you've read it, start listing, because this book gives you the foundation. But execution, that's what gets you sales. That's where EcomSniper comes in. We built the most powerful Amazon to eBay dropshipping tool, and we didn't stop at automation. Inside EcomSniper, you don't just get software. You get a full implementation course where we walk you through every single step. You copy what we do on screen and build your store alongside us. We also include a live onboarding call where we help you craft the right game plan for your specific goals, account type, and country. And the best part? You get access to our private Telegram group where serious users, power sellers, and agency partners are building together. We troubleshoot problems, celebrate wins, and share new plays daily. And if you're not a user yet, no problem. Join our free public Discord and see the community in action for yourself. This isn't just software. It's a system with tools, training, and a community behind it. If you're ready to go from learning to earning, visit ecomsniper.io and get started. We built the machine. Now it's your turn to run it.